Ahoy there! Briney here, coming at you with a Genshin Impact video. Now, I want to talk about Xiao. Xiao is super cool. He does a lot of damage, and everything about him is awesome. I know, but here are some of the things I find fun about him, some of the things I find annoying about him, and some of the things that you can just do in general with him. So, with that, let's get right into the video.
Useless. Disappear. Worthless.
The first thing I would like to talk about is the obvious. Xiao is a main DPS. He does a lot of damage in a very short amount of time, and he is very, very good when his elemental burst is up. Now, having said that, his energy recharge can be very difficult to keep up. Normally, you need like a extra Animo support, and you almost require to have a healer on the team because Zhao's HP will drain by so much that he will die to any kind of reaction later on, and shields don't protect his HP from the drain. It will still drain underneath the shield. The shield will not take damage. Now, some things I found is that it takes a lot of hits with his E skill to generate enough energy for his elemental burst to come up. That's one of the first thing I notice. His ult lasts for a very long time, so most of your elemental skills that you put up with your supports will end about halfway into his ability being up, so his supports will no longer be able to support him, and he cannot receive support's help or support's elemental damage until he is switched off the field, and if he is switched off, then his elemental burst ends, and you don't want that to end because then you lose the increased damage that he gets towards the end of his elemental burst. Oh, look at that shot. You gotta appreciate that snipe. Like, I was just trying to aggro to see if these guys would shoot me with a missile, but did you see that? Oh, and then then it missed. But oh, and I did it again. Like, definitely wasn't like 17 tries in between those two clips. Nah, no editing magic needed. Totally off the goal post. In the net. It's in the net. I need more analogies. Some of the things I wanted to try with Xiao was how does his E skill work? How does it work when there's projectiles? Some of the things about his autos. One thing I really noticed about the autos is that on his second double strike, I think that's his fourth or fifth hit into his attack sequence, it hits really low. And I notice if enemies are being knocked up, or you have hit them into the air, or they are staggered and bouncing in any way, it will actually go below them. I have a clip here showing a lot of my hits literally sweeping under the enemy and not hitting them. Another thing that I wanted to try was, in a clip over here, I tried dashing out of the doorway because I didn't want to get caught up in this, Mr. Cyclops' spinny move. I don't know the technical term here. But as I tried to do that, Xiao actually didn't listen to me and he dashed in. So he actually has a very high priority on his dash to go after the enemy. You have to be quite ways away from the enemy if you want to use it as a movement option, not to go in and attack. So that's a little dangerous when you're low health and you have a Mr. Cyclops spinning towards you. He can reach the weak points on both Colossus and on the Ruin Hunters. So, I actually find the Colossus a lot harder to hit the weak point of. The Ruin Hunter, you just have to be really close and hit them at the apex of your jump. But getting in close to something shooting missiles at you is difficult to some degree. I also find that most of the times I was able to hit their weak point, they were either down off of a little ridge, or uh, or I was on a hill. So I don't know if if you can reach it with absolutely no elevation whatsoever, but you might need a little bit of elevation to actually reach those weak points. So if you're using him in the Spiral Abyss, it might be good to have a unit that can put up a Geoconstruct so he can actually reach that high. One of the things I found very difficult was getting the double weak point strike on the rune guards. It seems the hitting them in the back weak point does not work whatsoever. I have a couple clips of me hitting them in the back, does not work. And even hitting them in the eye or around the eye, it is very finicky. So don't count on being able to do this like straight out of the blue. You can maybe stun the rune guard with one hit. Maybe you can switch to a bow user before that ends, but in general, it is very difficult to get a double hit, even with Constellation 1 with those 3 dashes. I only got it off a couple of times. What I found help is to go slightly on when you're facing the rune guard, slightly on the right, because that way they turn to the left and you pass through, so then you can pass back through and hit that weak point again when they look sideways in their stun animation. Other things to note, other than the wonky E, where, you know, even if you're holding the arrows in an opposite direction, if you're too close to the unit, it will automatically send you straight to the unit. It's got an auto lock on, so you have to clear out. It's about the radius of a rune guard spin, is about the radius that you have to be outside of before your E doesn't automatically go towards them. Also, your E, while it is a great piece of mobility, it's a good looking dash, it does not give you iframes. Many times here, you'll see me getting hit by missiles while dashing. So you can dodge missiles, but only like as a movement option, not as a invulnerable, nothing can hit me option. What is a little nice, though, is if a rune guard does start spinning, if you hover around their head, you actually won't take damage from their arms swirling around. So that's something nice. So you can kind of put a little bit of distance between you and a rune guard if they start spinning while you're in the air next to them. The other thing I notice is, like, when I'm just not trying to aggro an enemy and something runs up behind me and I'm just trying to run away and de-aggro because I'm collecting flowers or whatnot. Because if you ain't grinding in Genshin, you ain't playing Genshin. Or you aren't AR-45 yet. But we digress. There's definitely going to be more permanent, resin-free, in-game content sometime. That's a topic for another video.